A moment, please. Pardon my intrusion, but I have another message to deliver to you. And if you don't mind my saying so, it's good to see you again. More like a summons, really. Comes from Abner Tharn, who once advised Emperor Varen of Cyrodiil. He wants to see you in Riverhold in northern Elsewhere. Said it involves the Khajiit Defense Force and a rage of dragons, if you can believe it.
I'm hearing troubling rumors about Ashen Scar. Undead, mainly. I guess I can mark visiting there off my list.
Ah, yes. The stories of an undead plague there makes this one's fur stand on end. Will we be seeing throngs of undead marching out of there next? This!
You haven't heard that a necromancer is...
These dragons are fast becoming a larger issue.
More likely, a necromancer seeks to control the undead, yes, not stop.
So much trouble. I'm glad you wish to help. We need valiant folk to slow down the spread of dragons. It is regrettable enough. I think the best tactic is to defeat the dragons at their hunting grounds when they thank you for helping. Dragons aren't exactly easy to kill, as you may know. People who hunt them alone don't often return. So to prevent mud crabs? Oh, you jest. To answer your question, Queen... This was
Greetings, Walker. Have you come seeking work? There is much to do here in Elsewhere. All manner of work, Rook. Nisuzi offers tasks that you can tackle alone. Rahir gathers groups of warriors. Excellent. Please, don't forget to check back. Well, that depends. Nisuzi is a bandar. Well,
Nisuzi has coin, if you have the time. And on Bandar, did... Yes, magic trinkets. And off you go. No other...
You love gold, yes? An insufferable Akaviri sword mistress, Visradu, planted her flag on the Hill of Shattered Swords about a century back. We thought she'd pass of old age eventually. Kill her, of course! We can only suffer so many humiliations at the... Strong will? Bah, who knows? The Imperials here on Elsewhere fancy themselves Seishi, but as far as I can tell, they're just Imperials in silly garments. Snake Man. Haven't ever seen one myself, but those Imperials in Hakushe talk about them like they're gods or something. It's nonsense, Walker. They're no different from us, no better than us. You'll prove this soon enough, yes? Some folk mentioned seeing old banners fluttering in the breeze up on the... Shore's bones. Rigert knew he should have brought more mead. Rigert's favorite diplomatic assistant. How have you been? Rigert has been busy bringing cultures together like a delicious stew made of strangers. Now Rigert could use your help. After our past success, it would be good to work with you again. As soon as Rigert returned home from successful diplomatic endeavoring, the Skald King sent him to elsewhere with gifts for the cats. Rigert is always given the most important, most faraway missions. Problem is, Rigert lost the gifts. So many ways. First, a courier brought Rigert's package to Riverhold instead of Rimmen. Then, as our ship was boarding, a werebear attacked and stole honey needed for my special sweetbread. Last and not least, Rigert's famous minstrels are missing. Thank you, friend. Retrieve Rigert's package from Thedara in the Riverhold Marketplace and meet me after in the Stitches. Rigert's diplomacy waits for no man, or woman, or cat. But be careful. The Skald King charged Rigert with handling all matters that are out of his sight. So Rigert has been very busy, friend. It's difficult work, and it doesn't... The finest coats in all of Skyrim. A gift for Canon Reeve Jusdo to make peace between the Nords and Khajiit. Rigert would already have them if his courier wasn't completely incontinent. The package was delivered. It's impossible to find Windhelm-worthy honey in elsewhere. But this cat merchant says honey flowers from Merryvale Moon sugar farms will work for baking sweetbread. Rigert's cooking is sure to make peace between the... Rigert hired Skyrim's best band, the Screaming Mammoths, to play for
I'm hearing troubling rumors about Ashen Scar. Undead, mainly. I guess I can mark visiting there.
The stories of an undead plague there.
A 100 apologies, Walker, but this show is postponed for now. If you purchased a ticket, this one will gladly refund your gold. Oh, forgive Tahara. Her worry gets the better of her. One of my menagerie's most terrifying beasts escaped from its cage. I turned my back for only a moment to speak to an onlooker, you see, and pow! The monster burst free! Oh, a vicious beast with ravening jaws and beady black eyes. The Brett and Tahara bought it from called the creature Bertel. But do not let its silly name fool you. You seem capable. If you find Bertel, I will gladly share some of my profits with you. This one is humbled by your generosity, Walker. she will see you fully compensated for the danger of this task. Of course, Tahara will answer what she can. Yes, of course. It stalks on 4 clawed feet, standing as high at the shoulder as Tahara is at her waist. Its fur is blood-burnished gold, and its floppy ears dangle like curtains at the cheek, framing a muzzle filled with yellow teeth. Yes! Oh, Walker, you will never meet a more fearsome creature. To think the noble wolf bred into such a compact frame of death and horror. In the Khajiit tongue, Ta'agra, the word for dog, means death. Can you believe that? Well, no. Dog just means dog. But still, you know what Tahara is telling you.
Oh, for the love of dog trappings. All of them, and you sandals, too. Damn.
This is wearisome indeed.
Jalar, you're either the best-dressed beggar I have ever seen, or this is some kind of con. What's your... This for? There is no need for that. Take the damned stuff. I don't care. It isn't even that good.
My hero returns with the dread Bertel in tow. Surely the creature is under some powerful spell. Your magics astound even me. Ah, indeed you do. The Gorger of Glenumbra captured once more. Its bestial intellect swayed by the promise of grisly table scraps. This fool, could you work me here? It's part of the mystique. Just take your gold and act astounded, all right? The Gorger of Glenumbra returns! Feast your eyes upon his rippling musculature. His appetite, and feast upon us all! Oh, thank you again for finding my... What? No, of course not. Well, not at first, anyway. Tahara did not mean for birth. I know it will. Just as long as you keep our little secret to yourself.
Just look at these monsters. Bajan has never seen something so hideous. Aside from his mother-in-law, of course.
Do you think it's safe to keep such creatures in the middle of town? If that dog escapes again, who knows what it will do?
Yeah!
Don't call us mounts. Nobody mounts a Senchrat. Riders, shut up and follow where we lead, or they land whiskers first in the mud. If you want a mount, go buy a dumb animal.
Another distraction.
Yeah!
Don't be sad, horse. This is the life, yes? The sun beating on your shirtless fur, the sweet smell of moon sugar cane wafting through your whiskers. It doesn't get any better than this, Walker. Everything would be perfect if it weren't for those meddling pests. Adam Nargo prefers to remain positive, so he thinks of it as more of a pest opportunity. Wasps are nesting in his fields, but he can't get rid of them because he's busy consoling his horse over our lost Guar Gordon. This is a very sensitive horse. He has a name, friend. His name is Gordon the Guar. He ran off, and Hadam Nargo has had no luck luring him back. Gordon and the horse are very close. They often spend hours just staring at each other. It's a bit strange, but Hadam Nargo doesn't judge. Thanks for your help getting rid of the wasps in the fields and finding my lost Guar. If Hadam Nargo's horse wasn't so sad and knew how to talk, he would thank you too. He's sad about Gordon, but he's usually a happy horse. The Imperials brought them during their integration, and we've adapted a few breeds for labor. I think he likes working on the farm, and we like having him around, especially Gordon. Hadam Nargo doesn't give them much thought. We've been sharing Rimin with them for a very long time, and we'll probably share it with them for much longer. As long as they leave Hadam Nargo alone and don't tell him to put his shirt on, it will be fine. Kill them with fire! Hadam Nargo is serious, Walker. He loves his horse, and he's because he looks like a Gordon. I'm sure you'll agree when you see his face.
So much to do.
Since you come to share this lizard with Zanzag, you can have the neck. Maybe a hind leg if you're lucky. Of course! You never met a Senchrat before? Or you just never bothered talking to one? Most think we are only good for riding into battle, but we are as intelligent as any Khajiit. Only more likely to eat strangers who ask stupid questions. Everything that moves belongs to Zanzag, especially when he's hungry. Tell Hadam Nargo that if he has a problem with that, Zanzag can eat his precious horse instead. How did you know that Zanzag is uncomfortable eating things with first names? Zanzag will find his dinner somewhere else. Now that you mention it, he does look like a Gordon.
You got rid of the wasps and you found Gordon. Adam Nargo can't tell you how happy this makes his horse. Did you run into any trouble? Ah, Zanzag. We established this farm together, but things got strange when Hadam Nargo bought his horse. I think he was jealous. But I never felt comfortable riding on something that talked back. Please, accept this gift for everything you've done. Oh, come back in.
Ah, yes. Did the spirit send you to help Kisaravi? What did she say? My apologies. Kisaravi hoped you heard the spirit too. The spirit protects Akaviri relics in the Tomb of the Serpents. She wants Kisaravi to share their secrets with the world. Spirit may not be correct. Entity, a goddess perhaps. The one who protects the tomb while wrapping her arms around Kisaravi's mind. Will you retrieve the Akaviri relics? Otherwise their secrets will be trapped here forever, along with Kisaravi. Thank you, stranger. Kisaravi hopes you will be the one to pass the spirit's test and retrieve the Akaviri relics. She's sure you won't end up like the others. Years ago, Khajiit allowed displaced Akaviri to bury their dead in Khajiiti tombs. So many Akaviri were buried here that they renamed it Tomb of the Serpents. The Akaviri placed armor and relics alongside their dead. The spirit watches over all. Curiosity, arrogance, greed. Kisaravi wanted to unlock the Akaviri's secrets, to use their knowledge and steal their power, to sell their relics. Some say their ancestors were eaten by a race of vampiric serpents. Others say they were merely captured. They are said to be resistant to poison and fierce in battle. Some say they even enslaved dragons. Their relics will tell us what is true. I never saw her, but I felt her. Her words opened something within me, a sense of purpose, belonging, love. I don't remember her words, but I can't forget her message. When I share the relics with the world, you will... Thank you, stranger. Kisaravi hopes you will be the one to pass the spirit...
You know the messenger. If you survive, you will know the message. lay down your sword, outsider. You already belong to the Akaviri.
You got the Akaviri relics. Did the spirit speak to you? Ah, the Akaviri spirit has blessed you. Kisaravi can tell. How else would you have succeeded where Kisaravi has failed? Please accept this gift and the spirit's blessings. Kisaravi knew that she would meet someone brave enough to enter the tomb, strong enough to pass the spirit's test, and wise enough to accept her protection and never question her. The spirit wants Kisaravi to share the Akaviri relics with Tamriel. They possess a magic we can't understand, a magic that will spread her influence and protect us all. The spirit will soon live in everyone's minds, and it will all be thanks to you. For some, it is the key to unlocking ancient secrets and lost magic. For others, it is a reminder of why some things are better left unknown. The spirit has spent years watching the dead in this tomb, stranger. She's ready to see more. cannot defeat me! How could I do such...
Dragon invitation, Chimera.
Ever the voice of reason, Speaker. Ah, here comes someone who can help us now.
When Abnor Tharn spoke of a hero of renown, I had no idea he was referring to you. It is good to see you again, though I wish the circumstances were not so dire. Well, you helped...
I suppose it is good to see you again, Walker. Someone must help Tharn clean up the mess he created at the Halls of Colossus. Come to think of it, you share some of the blame, yes? Trouble! More like flying disasters. Caravans devastated, livestock consumed, villages set aflame. It is more than the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force can handle. As much as I hate to admit it, we need Tharn's help. And yours as well, Walker. Damn Abner Tharn for translating the Wrathstone and finding that ancient ruin. He went in search of a weapon to end the Three Banners War. A weapon I told him was too dangerous, remember? And instead wound up releasing the dragons. Talk to Abner Tharn. He and the Speaker of the Main have been formulating strategies and contingency plans. Sometimes it feels like that is all they are doing. Maybe you can set fire to their tails, yes?
I was beginning to suspect you were never going to arrive. After Calcevius and my half-sister manipulated us into inadvertently releasing a rage of dragons, Elsewhere has been overrun by the beasts. We do bear some responsibility, I suppose. So much better than flock or herd, don't you think? The Khajiit Defense Force isn't prepared to deal with a threat as big as dragons, especially since they were fighting to liberate Rimmon when the huge beasts arrived. Stay focused. We'll deal with that later. Right now, we must assist the Defense Force. Rendezvous with us at their command post. On your way, however, I have another task for you. I detected a series of power surges that I want you to investigate. I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges of arcane energy not far from here. They reminded me of an old acquaintance. Has a way with portals. If it is him, I want you to secure his help against the dragons. Hard to say with certainty, but I don't believe so. They remind me of Sir Cadwell, who somehow opens portals with a power of similar intensity. Check the locations I marked on your map. Ah yes, of course you do. He does get around. If Cadwell turns out to be the source of the power surges, learn what he's doing out there and ask if he will aid us against the dragons. For all his eccentricities, Lord Garesh Ree is the Speaker of the Main and the commander of the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force. His aide, Chimera, serves as both a diplomat and a spy, though she would never call herself that. If you want to know more, feel free to ask them. My half-sister, Euraxia, conquered Rimmon and other parts of northern Elsewhere about 6 years ago. The Khajiit Defense Force has slowly been taking back their province, but Rimmon is well fortified. And now, because of the dragons, things are worse. A militia drawn from the prides of northern Elsewhere. Garesh Ree, the Speaker of the Main, has taken command during this crisis. With Dominion troops busy fighting the Three Banners War, the Defense Force must deal with the Euraxians and the dragons. I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges around. Someone needed to check on Cyrodiil and try to hold the pieces together. With the central government disbanded and the imperial city a smoking ruin, any semblance of order has gone. Between the imbecilic Three Banners War and the constant rise and fall of some new warlord or bandit chief, there was more to deal with than even I. Without a legion to command, my options were severely limited. The best I could manage was to liberate a few small villages and lead the refugees to a safe haven. Hence my desire to end this pathetic war and... You think so, Vestige? Perhaps you don't know me half as well as you think. I am Imperial through and through, never forget that. My people matter to me, as does our culture, our heritage, and our future. How should I put this so that you fully understand? None of your business. The Amulet of Kings represents the highest office in the Empire, and I refuse to allow it to become lost or stolen again. I expect nothing but your continued assistance, Vestige. However, I concede that your aid in recovering the relic was vital, so I assure you that it is perfectly safe. Safer than it has ever been. All right. No need to pester. Once you started your merry parade of divinely inspired destruction, I formed a contingency. In case you failed, we would need the amulet to try again with another would-be hero. Good thing you didn't fail. Safer than it was. You think I'd do what Sai Sahan did and just bring it right back to Sankra Tor? Please. Whatever you think of me, you should at least know I'm not stupid. As you can imagine, the companions were none too pleased with me after everything that transpired. I've made no effort to reach out to the survivors, nor they to me. It's just as well. That chapter of our lives ended at heart's grief.
No. Matters in other parts of elsewhere occupy the main right now. That is why I am here. I originally arrived a few years ago. Abnor Tharn's half-sister conquered Rimmon and parts of northern elsewhere. We recently liberated Riverhold and we're about to do the same. Talk to Abnor Tharn. He has agreed to serve as my advisor, a role he knows well from his years standing beside the Ruby Throne.
A crowded marketplace, a chance meeting, unexpected, unannounced, and perhaps just the thing this one needs to solve a most curious investigation. Music Thunderboots, at your service. An abduction, to be precise. No ransom, no demands, no obvious suspects or motives. Just a heartbroken father and a missing young lady. But that is why Music was hired, yes? He steps in when all other justice fails. Correct. This one searches for Xynthia, daughter of Ishu. However, Music's inquiries have led to nothing but dead ends. And with the young lady's safety on the line, the sooner this investigation is solved. A chance meeting turned fated partnership. Fortuitous for this one, yes? You should speak to Ishu first. See if he has any new information for us. His Music Thunderboots is a Khajiit of action. Well, he does not wish to merely boast of his prowess. This one aims to prove such skill. This one will confess, while Music is confident in his skills of investigation. Not this investigation, thank the moons. Well, not yet. That is where your expertise comes along, yeah? It is a good name, no? Music Thunderboots. When scoundrels hear the footsteps... Oh, well, perhaps you are right. Not very subtle, is it? He is a humble Khajiit of moderate wealth. Seems to keep to himself. No enemies, no debts. No reason why he would be targeted. Yet just a few days ago, his daughter, Xynthia, was taken in the dead of night. Most strange, no? If Music did not know better, he would say that it was an intimidation tactic. Perhaps even an act of revenge. They outright dismissed Ishu's claim, believing that the young lady has merely run away. A most vexing call, truth be told. From all that Ishu has told...
Congratulations on finding the finest cloth merchant in all of Riverhold. Thadara can see that you are in desperate need of a renovation. Ah, Thadara was wondering how much longer she would need to keep this stinking thing in her shop. Thadara doesn't know what's inside, but it smells like hot horse cheeks. The courier who brought Rigger's rotten package was promised payment upon delivery. Thadara assumed someone would eventually come to claim its disgusting contents, so she paid the fee herself. You can see the courier's invoice for yourself. Thadara wouldn't want you to think you are being cheated. Everything seems correct, yes? Thadara uses gold from her own purse to accept this nasty package for your stupid friend, and you repay her with threats? Take it and leave.
don't have a choice, Izaki.
And what? You expect us to just stroll into an Akaviri crypt? Be reasonable.
Well, if we don't recover those mural pieces, who will? Welcome to the House of Histories. You'll find no grander collection of curiosities and memorabilia in all of Elsewhere. I would offer you a tour, but we're currently investigating a most unfortunate theft. An ancient mural called the Rithana di Renada, otherwise known as the Song of Kingdoms. It chronicles the time when Elsewhere was 16 united kingdoms working in harmony. Unfortunately, it was shattered when the kingdoms entered into conflict. Yes, into exactly 16 pieces. My brother and I found and restored each and every one. And then, just as we were about to put all the pieces together again, they were stolen. Who would even do such a thing? Thank you for offering to help. Oddly enough, the thief did leave a note mentioning a grave of snake men. I suspect it refers to the Tomb of the Serpents, an old Akaviri crypt. Hope the Rithana di Renala was created during a time of peace between the 16 kingdoms. The peace between the kingdoms did not last. The mural was shattered into 16 pieces, one for each kingdom. No one knows how it was so perfectly broken. Elsewhere faces many dangers now. More than ever, the Khajiit must band together. Yes, it is. But that clue is all we have at the moment. It actually reminds me of the old Khajiiti legend, Rajin and a Trail of Ink. He was a renowned thief who possessed the Ring of Khajiiti, which allowed him to be invisible, silent, and quick. He ascended to become an immortal trickster. Many moons ago, when Rajin was still but a thief and not yet a god, he met a beautiful soldier named Captain Nasuna. He was captivated by Nasuna's beauty and skill, but she scorned all of his advances. So, Rajin set out to woo her. Nasuna guarded a merchant's estate. 5 times Rajin entered this estate, stealing an item and hiding it elsewhere. He left clues behind for the captain, daring her to recover what he stole. And each time she prevailed, for she was as clever as he. Rajin was proving himself. By stealing these items, he showed his cunning. By hiding them away, he showed his honor. By leaving clues, he showed his respect. And it worked. Nasuna was won over and agreed to be his lover. As I've said, many thieves wish to emulate the great Rajin, leaving clues at the scene.
You have agreed to help us. Oh, thank John and Jode. Patrons have been few and far between.
Are you here about this one, Cynthia? Has she been found? Yes, of course. Cynthia was taken in the dead of night. This one has received no ransom, yet he fears the worst. She is a very beautiful Jakajit, you see. Ishu. Cynthia has a long, glossy coat, soft as the richest of silks. Her eyes are bright yellow, like the honeyed moons. Ah, and she always wears a gold necklace. No suspects, no, but someone who may have spotted something? There is a wood elf who tends to stay up well into the night, always singing and dancing, that one. If anyone saw something unusual the night Xynthia was taken, it might be her. The wood elf's name is Mel? Yes, that's it. Mel the Musical, she always calls herself. You can usually find her toward the north end of town near the Sand Gardens. Used to help find this one's darlings. Mel arrived in Riverhold a few seasons ago. Makes a living begging for gold as she sings and dances. Mel does not have a home in the traditional sense, so you will often find her sleeping in the stables and bathing in the... Xynthia is a willful child. A tad spoiled, this one admits. Issue dotes on her. The town guard, they do not understand. They say, oh, perhaps, thank you. May bright moons light your path. Issue will prepare a feast for Xynthia's return, yes?
Oh, what do you know? A customer.
Inuma once lived in Starhaven, a beautiful adeptorium with many wonderful adepts. There was nothing left for this one in Starhaven. His quarters were destroyed along with all of his possessions. Inuma, too many sad memories. This one could not bear to stay.
Salutations. Mel the Musical at your service. Are you here for a performance? Ishu, the Khajiit with all the cats? That old coot is sweet as honey jagger, but a bit off if you ask me. Shame about his daughter, though. No one should have to go through that. If you're looking for trouble, Tajiri's your girl. I've seen her with all sorts of indecent folk lately. Always shifty eyes on those ones, I tell you. She tends to spend a lot of time behind the stables lately, if you catch my drift. Very good, then. And hey, if you're looking for some entertainment for your next soiree, make sure to seek me out. You won't regret it. She's a gambler with a lot of friends in a lot of places. And you know, who am I to judge? Business is business, after all. But as of late, she just seems to be getting suspicious activity. People who I ain't ever seen before, going about town at all hours. I mean, I may stay up well past most people's bedtime, but I'm a musician, comes with the territory, and these...
I heard what happened at Moonmont Hallowed. Moonsby.
Pisahen thought about joining the Order of the Zankash when he was a younger Khajiit. But all those rules the adepts must follow? Who has the...
Saw you heading this way. Find anything of interest? The stables, hmm? Developed a sudden interest in horsemanship, Walker? Oh, looks to be a colt. A napping badger, eh? Sounds familiar. Ah, yes! The sleeping badger is a rock formation, just south of Riverhold. But this bit about the sweet trip, that Mizik doesn't understand. Mizik will mark it on your map, Walker. Feel free to lead the way. And perhaps this is a good time to mention that this one is not so skilled in violent situations, should trouble find us. But that is where your expertise comes in handy, yes? Find me later, Walker.
Hail. Well?
No, Azazi. Never touch a Daedric monster, especially a dead one.
Don't be such a nervous netch. The dead can't hurt us. But where do you think it came from?
It stinks
Don't
of
touch
cold
the
hot
dead thing. They do not tells me.
Lucky summoned it, yes?
I saw you, traveler. Why do all outsiders insist on acting suspiciously? I watched you go from location to location, just like the man with the pot on his head. Are you one of the soldiers intent on digging up every plot of land? Or are you simply a deviant who enjoys skulking and slinking through the wilderness? Oh, do not play innocent with me, stranger. You must be working with that pale, gaunt fool with the ridiculous mustache. Else would you be visiting the same places that he did? Unless... Are you an agent of the Usurper Queen? Euraxia, the hated Imperial who conquered Rimmon and falsely claimed to be its queen. Do not feign ignorance, outsider. I had just about enough of that when I talked to the man with the pot on his head. You sound as confused as he was. Kept talking to his pet lizard bird like he expected it to answer. The last I saw, he headed east. I suppose you'll find him in that direction, and south of Riverhold. Just stop skulking.
These vagrants must be smugglers. Dark wounds! Music is all right. Oh dear. Apologies. That necklace must belong to Xynthia. Come, let us speak away from this place. A missing daughter, a hidden note, and now a band of Skooma smugglers. This investigation becomes messier with every step we take. This one is unsure, though it is possible Ishu may be hiding something. Still, our priority should be to investigate the gambler who wrote that note. Tajiri was her name, yes? That does ring a bell or two. If Tajiri is a gambler, it is likely we can find her at a local tavern. Mizik will head there at once and see...
Yeah!
Uncanny. It looks just like that lovely place I dreamed of. Must be why my portals led me here. Eventually. Ah, hello there. Good
to see you again, old chum. Have you come to pay your respects too? It was the strangest thing. I dreamed I was looking at this very gravestone, so here I came, and there it is, all solid and everything. Important? I have no idea. I suppose it must be. I saw it in a dream after all. Or was it a vision? I get those two confused. Anyway, I felt a sort of pull and stepped through a door, and then pish-posh, honours abandoned, gua, and here I am. Tharn, you say, the grumpy battle mage. How is the old boy? The surges were probably just me. My portal took a few tries before we honed in on this exact location. Now, why don't you take a look at the gravestone and see what you make of it? Hmm? Well, it took a few tries to find the exact spot I saw in my dream. A number of frightfully rude lads and lasses occupied the first location I visited, demanded my surrender, if you can imagine such a thing. Naturally, I gave them the old heave-ho. Foul smelling, I'll have you know, that was my lunch. Can't believe I lost it. And if by Bantam Gua you mean my faithful steed, Honor, well, he's always getting into my foodstuffs. Has the appetite of a mammoth and the cunning of a fox, that one. Dispatch? Why would I do such a terrible thing? I adore those adorable pudge buckets. Alas, Groot was standing a little too close when I opened my portal. Poor thing fell in and took a nasty spill. When the neck bone snaps, it makes an awful sound. Were the words the same for you? Sometimes written language likes to confuse me. Words change and switch places. Very annoying. Anyway, the gravestone mentions the betrayer. Sounds like a dastardly chap. Wonder if I ever met him. I don't have the slightest idea. The words inscribed upon it conjure up all kinds of questions, though. Who is this betrayer? Whom did he betray? Why did they bury only his head? And where did they put the rest of the poor fellow? I don't have a clue. Dragons? I haven't battled a dragon since... You know, I can't remember. But I'm certain I fought one or two in my day. I was a gallant knight, after all. Of course I'll help. I'll just need to do a little more digging into this dream thing first. Did you hear that, my trusty shovel? Dragons and mysterious graves. It's just like old times. Yeah!
and you will share our story. Die, and you will share our tomb.
Not so fast, Walker. Rachin would first have a word with you. So, you have found the first piece of the Rithana di Renata. Impressive. But Rachin can't help but wonder if you have patience enough to find the other 15. After all, he has hidden them very well. This one is the shadow of Rachin. Well, a shadow of Rachin. There are 7 of us, all told. Surely you have heard of Rachin, yes? Elsewhere's greatest thief, whose crimes were so fabulous he became divine. This one is but an avatar of his greatness. Do you expect a truthful answer? What kind of trickster do you take this one for? Here, let us make a deal. If you find all the pieces, each and every one, Rachin will consider sharing his motivations. Only then. Of course, Rachin will provide clues. What fun would it be otherwise? 15 clues to find 15 pieces. Collect them all and restore Rithana di Renata, which was thought just a legend. Sound exciting, Walker? Here then, a book for your convenience. Is not Rachin kind? Ah, and one other thing. Outside help is strictly forbidden. Iraya might have solved this one's first clue, but the rest are a trickster, a hero, and an ancient mural. Just the recipe for a grand adventure, no? Ah, but this one is most excited to see it unfold. This one is but a shadow of the great Rachin, trickster god to the Khajiiti people. It was he who gained the power of the Ring of Khajiiti, which made him invisible to all and quick as the wind. He... Of course! How else was this one supposed to get your attention, Walker? Why, you have Rachin's Book of Riddles, do you not? Well, this one is feeling rather generous today. Rachin will let you... By the way, if you see Pakruti, tell him he still owes this one a pouch of gold.
returned. Let us speak. Greetings, greetings. Were you able to find the missing mural pieces? If you want to pull my tail, you could at least try a bit harder than that. Really, what would Rajin's shadow want with the Rithana de Renada? Sure, sure. Just let me know if you meet John and Jode next, yes? We could use some brighter moons. Why don't you just place the mural piece back in its frame? Iraya should read.
Our neighbors saw nothing, of course. Oh, you found one of the pieces! I see you've collected a missing piece. Slick work. Now, if we only had clues for the other 15 pieces, makes finding them particularly difficult for us, no? Rajin's shadow? I'll be honest, that's a lot to take in. But after all you've done for us, how can I not offer you the benefit of the doubt? Feel free to place any mural pieces that you find, and here, something for your troubles. To think that the Rithana de Renada was snatched away by Rajin's shadow. Never would I have thought that to be the case. Good luck finding the rest of the pieces. My brother and I will pray for your swift success. Of course. What would you like to know? Rajin has given you a book of riddles, yes? Each riddle should feel free to bring them back here and place them in the mural's frame. This should also help. Rajin is a trickster god. Well, Rajin is known to punish the cruel and reward the cunning.
When the 16 kingdoms were
You and I need to speak now.
A hero
I must admit, you and Thunderboots make quite the charming pair. And watching you both play at being investigator, why, it's been sleek entertainment, truly. But now you tread upon sand that are best left undisturbed. Take it as a friendly warning. I hear that you seek Ishu's daughter, yes? I find that very funny. After all, everyone in Riverhold knows that she left town many years ago. Then Ishu has become senile in his old age. I speak truthfully. He had one daughter.
He's one Khajiit to cheer. Who is he?
Bright moons look over us today, Walker. Tajiri has just settled down for a round of gambling. While music distracts her, you can sneak into her home and search for another clue. It's just a bit north of the tavern. Forgive this one if he's skeptical. Even if this stranger spoke truly, why then would Ishu hire Mizik? Why would Tajiri have written that note? Why would we find a gold necklace in the smuggler's camp? Then perhaps this stranger simply wishes to confuse us. Throw us off the scent. Besides, we cannot stop now. Not when an innocent young lady may still be at risk.
Looks like something a bit sweet.
Quickly, head to the...
More groceries for the house. Eat. Would it kill you to...
This one hopes you have found something of interest, Walker. Mizik cannot afford to keep Tajiri distracted any longer. And he means that most literally. Blue serpents? 4-pointed paint? If Mizik had to guess, this poem describes drop-off locations for illicit goods. Smugglers often hide them in plain sight. First a sleeping badger, now a blue serpent. Must represent another landmark. That's it. The river is often busy with trade. A perfect place to smuggle goods. Let us search along the river and see if we find any barrels or crates with markings. Hopefully we'll find something that will lead us to Zinthia. Mizik will admit this case is heading in a rather unexpected direction, which is a bit worrisome if he's being honest. It is strange, isn't it? With an operation as intricate as this, it seems odd that these smugglers would target a Khajiit of such limited wealth. This one agrees, but let us first check these smuggler caches. The note said that the goods were... That painted mark seems curious, no? Somerset wine, eh? Not illegal, but incredibly taxed. Mizik has a feeling this bottle didn't find its way to Riverhold through virtuous means. Mizik sees a painted mark ahead. Oh, if that cheese isn't illegal, it should be. What a smell. that be the painted mark we seek? A very pretty scarf for smugglers to wear, yes? Perhaps it belongs to Cynthia. Apologies. This one is fine. This barrel smells sweet, but also rotten. What could it be? Dark moons. They're smuggling spoiled moon sugar. Very unsafe for anyone to eat. Speak to Ishu and see what he knows of these smugglers. Then let us meet back at the tavern. We have much to discuss.
Yes, any news of this one, Cynthia? Smuggler camps? Dark moons? Yes, the necklace and scarf belong to Cynthia. Have they? Have the smugglers sold her? Arjun and Joe, please say it isn't so. No, of course not. Ishu has only lived a good, honest life. Please, you must find this one's Jakajit. She is so young and innocent and probably terrified without her papa. Whatever will Ishu do if his Cynthia is harmed? May bright moons watch over you. Oh, really? Well, Ishu supposes his family has grown over the years. But how could this one not seek their companionship? Their little faces, their tiny paws. His darlings love him completely, demanding little but affection and food. But of course, mostly. She and Medwick don't always get along, but Medwick is older and doesn't always like to play or be teased. And just between us, Tak-Tak can be a bit of a Jekuzit sometimes.
That she needs, oh, she begs and pleads in the moonlight. She really worship you.
I walk, and so the other thorn in my paw arrives. I told you, did I not? First time was a warning. Now it is a threat. You both leave town. No more investigations. No more sticking your snouts where they don't belong. Collect your things and leave. That again? I told you Ishu's daughter left Riverhold years ago. He's just a delusional old Khajiit caught up in a fantasy. And for this you tried to ruin my little operation? Of all the things! Who I am does not matter. What I can do to you, on the other hand, should be of immediate concern. You either leave Riverhold on your own, or you leave in pieces. You...
So it appears that your strange friend is Rideza the rogue. Good to know. Let us just say that her reputation precedes her. Well, threats to our life aside, it seems that we finally have a perpetrator. Now we just need to follow her. We are investigators, are we not? You must search for a trail. With any luck, she'll lead you straight to Ishu's daughter. Meanwhile, Mizik will alert the proper authorities.
Those were fresh sugar claws! I didn't even see who ran into me.
There! Riteza must have stepped on the jelly from the sugar claws. You must follow her trail while this one alerts the guards.
I warned you! Now the claws come out! Kill this muskars! Curse your meddling!
It is of the roll. Caught at last.
Did you find my daughter? Where is she?
Here! Your daughter is right here, you old fool!
Riteza! You're the one who stole Cynthia? Oh, this one's poor Jakashit.
Ha! Feeling a little jealous? To go so far as to steal your father's pet?
Ishu is so pleased that you were able to find Cynthia. Finally, this one's family can be reunited. What do you mean? Ishu gave you every detail about his precious Cynthia that he could think of. Was there something that made you think his daughter was a Khajiit? Well, no matter. Cynthia is... Riteza has become just as greedy and cruel as her mother. How can Ishu accept such a daughter? Especially if she wants to make peace, Ishu will make peace. After all, a quiet life for him and his...
You know, I wasn't too sure about Thunderboots when he first came to town. Thought he would just cause more trouble than he solved. But thanks to the boat... No, not too long. But it never takes much time for these kind of operations to wreak havoc on town. Moldy moon sugar by itself will do little more than make a Khajiit ill. The trouble is when that same moon sugar is distilled into tainted skooma. Most likely. It's a vile thing to sell, though.
tainted skooma causes some of the most horrific reactions I've ever seen.
You think that Ridge's rogue is finished? It's only a matter of time before I'm back on the streets. And when that happens, you best... When I came back to Riverhold, I went to see my fool of a father. It's been years since Mother and I left, and I was feeling sentimental, I suppose. Stupidly sentimental. Of the cat? No, I just wanted to make him suffer. He's always been obsessed with his damn pets. That's why Mother left him, you know. He's so caught up in his little family that he didn't have... Maybe you're right. Just another delinquent with papa problems. Isn't that just the way?
Well, it seems that our investigation has come to a successful close. Though not quite in a way that Mizik was expecting. In hindsight, it makes sense. When you were told that Ishu's daughter left town years ago, Rideza must have been speaking of herself. Still, to have been chasing Ishu's pet this whole time. This is true. Because of our dedication, Riverhold no longer has to deal with these vile smugglers. And let us hope it stays that way, yes? Mizik just needs to collect our reward. Why don't we meet at the Banished Regrets? Drinks are on Mizik. Just as soon as he is paid, of course.
Saved the main at Drilladan Pass. This one's
Kingdom stretch across the sands, keys the lands, hearts that shines through the dark, wrapped in the threads of time.
A family reunited, a smuggling ring destroyed, and the gratitude of all of Riverhold. Not a bad start to a partnership, yes? Mizik was even able to secure a hefty bonus, thanks to the generosity of Captain Kahiri. Of course. Your share as promised. After all, Mizik would never have been able to solve this investigation without your aid. Pleasure working with you, Walker. Do not be a stranger, yes? A safe town, a happy client, and an investigation expertly solved. And a five-claw partnership, if Mizik does say so himself. What more could this one ask for? After such a successful investigation, Mizik is hopeful that more clients will come forth. We live in turbulent times, Walker. Dragons, tyrants, necromancy. There is no end to Elsewhere's suffering as of late. And yet so much is overlooked. Those in power have priorities, and the petty problems of the common folk, they tend to be on the very bottom of this list. That is why we must look after each other. If Mizik does not offer his help, who? Of course. But first and foremost, it is Mizik's passion. That is why this one takes the name Thunderboots. If he cannot work in the name of justice, then he will not work at all. This Mizik's investigations take him many places, so it is hard to call one town home. But he's enjoyed his time in the Riverhold. He has a comfortable tavern room and a steady supply of clients. Honestly? Just the one. A bard's flute was stolen while he was drinking. Quickly. It turned out to be the innkeeper who stole the flute. This bard could not play in tune to save his life, and it was driving away business. So, Mizik suggested that the bard seek another tavern. A happy solution for everyone involved.
Music.
This one, that one. Which one? I can barely keep up with these cats and the damn speech patterns. Follow me a comment.
Eurexia must be stopped at all costs. And trust this one, there will be cost. That is why Jaban look helps any way he can.